G'day, I'm Malcolm from Woodworking Machinery Services. Today I'm just going to show you quickly how to change a set of trimming blades on a hot melt edge bender. So we're talking about the top and bottom trimming units, and on this particular machine, this is a Technoma and the model is a KT2, but all the Technoma machines are the same as this when it comes to the trimming motors. It's as simple as you've got a plug on the top of the motor. I always advise doing one motor at a time, then you can't get the motors reversed because they do travel in opposite directions. So once you've unplugged the motor, next thing to do is release the lock for the motor itself. There's also a handle on the side, so once you've released that, hey presto, out comes the motor. Obviously we don't want to lose the screw, that holds the motor in place. So on the Technoma machines, they simply have disposable tip blades, and you need a TX15 screwdriver. Simple as undoing the screw, take out the blade. Obviously you can source the replacement blades through us or your local machinery merchant. When you put the blade back in, the most important part is to make sure that the block is clean. Push the blade back to its home position, there isn't a screw there, and make sure it's in the down position as well. Obviously put the screw back in. Now on the Technomas there's typically two blades on the cutter block, and if you buy the original blades from the reseller, it's as simple as taking the blades out, putting the new blades back in, and when you put the motor back in the machine, everything should go back to its original settings. So in this particular one, it's just a simple slideway. You can see I've got the screw there. Place the screw back in. Do that up and then do up the nut on the side. Obviously we need to put our plug back in. The plug has a clip on it and it can only go in one direction. You can see there's a pin location there. Once the motor's back in, at the same time you want to check what we call the floats. So each of these motors should have what they call sideways float. You can see that there. And the top motor should also move up, the bottom motor should move down. So what typically happens is when the board comes through, it makes contact with the shoes on the motor itself. You should see the trimmer unit move back about 1mm, and it should always also move up by the same amount. And on the bottom one, exactly the same again, it should move back by about 1mm and move down by 1mm. Assuming you have those movements, it means the trimming units themselves are making correct contact with the material as it goes through the machine, and then you can make your adjustments accordingly to set the type of profile you want, i.e. a 2mm radius, 1mm radius, or a flat result. So that's today's tip on how to change the profile cutters in an edge bender.